Hey everyone, welcome back to the Awful Gaming Channel. I'm your host, Captain Awf. We're back with another riveting episode of Disgaea 5, Alliance of Vengeance. Still working our way through the DLC episodes. In the last video, we started the second of the DLC episodes, which covers half of the Disgaea 4 characters. So in today's video, we're going to be wrapping that up, going over the new characters that we received, their abilities, their equipment, all that fun stuff. But before we do that, we're going to knock out some of these quests that we've been hanging on to for a minute now. Like I said, the quest board over here, you can pick up these random little tidbits of things you can do for little bonuses or whatnot. And we've had that one for the martial artists and the boxes for a while now. So we're going to go back to this level right here where we know we can find a few boxes and martial artists. As you can see, they're all marked quest. So we know those are targets. So we're just going to rerun this level real quick once or twice just to complete those quests and knock them out, and also to go ahead and kind of like train up a few of these new characters we've got our hands on.
It's hard to move in this body.
Let's go.
It's my turn.
It's not like a turn-based RPG where every character that participates in a battle automatically gets experience whether they do anything or not. Only the character that lands a killing blow on a target receives any experience. So having a large roster actually makes leveling up a little bit slower, because the more units you have, the more grinding you've got to do, because each character only gets whatever experience they earn for killing a target or anything like that. So doing these DLCs and unlocking all of these extra characters, we're going to have to, set some time aside and make sure that we level those characters up. Which doesn't take long. I mentioned grinding and, replaying levels like this, and we will unlock a much faster way to level characters up via the item world later on. So it's not like it takes hours upon hours to get new characters up to level or anything like that. You just if you want to use the DLC characters and you unlock them right away like we're doing now on this playthrough, then you just have to make sure you don't forget to let them do a little bit of the work and get a little bit of the experience.
Leave it to me.
Again, you can see we're having a few characters attack some of these random destroyable objects on the map. The reason for that is because they're still getting weapon experience, skill experience, stuff like that.
Full of power.
Fire! And there!
I think we only need to kill one more of these guys to finish the quest board quest.
My servants.
Of course, we have to kill both of them to finish the actual level.
I'll do my best. Yeah! You talking about my body?
And you see, Girl Aharo just learned a new fist skill from, punching a box. So, if you ever have characters standing around a map, they're not doing anything, and there's destructible items laying around, just have them walk over and give it a good whack, because you never know, that might be the last little bit of experience you need to level up a skill or something. So there we go. We did that real quick, and we've completed 3 of the quests. So we'll run back over here, turn those in for our reward. We get a handful of hell and a ability scroll. While we're here, we'll see if there's any new ones that we can do easily. Unstable power, kill 20 dead. Extreme tough guy. This is one that you want. If you see this one right here, if you see guts, especially early on in the game, you want to do this one as soon as possible. And I'll show you why. So we're going to take that one. We got a few here. And the requirement for guts is to kill our clear stage, any stage 5 times. So we have to clear 5 stages to do this one. So what we're going to do is, I think there was actually another something here real quick that we can do. Clear. Okay, we're going to do this one too. Practice dude. The goal is to clear stage. It's a specific stage. It wants us to clear dried up wasteland in 1 turn. And that's actually that's the very, very, very first level of the game. So
where would you like to go, dude?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to that one real quick. We're gonna go blood parched right here, very first level, dried up wasteland. The enemies on this level should just be 4 prinnies. So there we go, 4 prinnies. Very low level, level 1. So this shouldn't require much of any effort at all. We're gonna send out a handful of characters. We're gonna slap these prinnies around, pretty much guaranteed 1-hit kills on all of them. This last one could be a little hard to reach, so we're going to lift and throw. 2, 3, and 4. So there, we've cleared this level once. So we know we've completed that quest, but we have to clear any 5 stages to complete the Guts quest. Now, that doesn't mean 5 different stages. It doesn't mean 5 new stages. It means any 5 stages. So we can repeat this particular stage 4 more times. We can use the exact same strategy.
I don't want to.
Oops, a little bit too fast there. There we go.
Ready.
Have a character throw. If I had more ranged characters, I wouldn't have to do that, but that'll work for now. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There, we've completed it. And she learned a sword skill.
I want some fluff.
So there we go. Alright, so 2. Bear with me. We're going to rinse and repeat 3 more times. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let somebody else get some of that fine experience.
It's hard to move in this body. Here I go.
We know she can reach with her spear skill. And
To protect game industry.
Let's have fun.
I don't know.
Hey.
We'll just keep letting little mini-me get some hits in there so he continues to level up. So that's 3.
I want to have more fun. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Let's see.
Let's
Actually,
have fun.
we're going to change it up a little bit here just for fun. Killia wants to explain how Magic Change works, but we already know how Magic Change works. If you have a monster type enemy on your party, they can turn into weapons that your humanoid characters can wield. Different kind of monsters turn into different kind of weapons. Prinnies turn into swords, so we're just going to leave them equipped on little mini-me.
Leave it to me. This is good.
Right.
Thrilling. Don't move.
Now you can see the chest there. Where that came from was if you have teammates standing side by side, if you get those team tacks to initiate, anytime a team tack initiates, you basically get a small chance for the enemy to drop a chest whenever they're defeated. It's usually just like low level loot, whatever loot corresponds to the level of the map you're on, but the more units you have that join into the team attack, which you can have up to 4, then the higher chance you get for them to drop a chest. It's just another way to acquire extra random items. So you'll see that pop up from time to time. After a team attack, you'll see a chest where the current target was. So there we go. We did the practice dude and the guts quests. So we're going to run over here, We're going to turn those ones in real quick. We get 600 health for doing that one, and we get the Extreme Tough Guy scroll for doing the Guts quest. While we're here, do we have anything else? The box quest again. Here's one to kill a prinny, to kill 5 prinnies, and we get a scroll. There's the martial artist one again. Again, you can repeat these over and over and over as long as you continue to get them. Here we go. This one is kill any target 7, so we just have to kill 7 units, and we get a Wind Blessing scroll. We're going to pick that one up. We want to keep farming. Skill scrolls, and I'll show y'all why eventually. But for now, we want to go to the inventory, and we want to find this Extreme Tough Guy scroll. Your newest items are always at the very bottom of the list. You just push up to jump to the bottom, or you just hold down until you scroll to the bottom, or you can go by individual categories. So you go over here where the scrolls are, find Extreme Tough Guy, and it says down at the bottom, the secret scroll ability Extreme Tough Guy will be learned. It's like, okay, well, what does that do? Well, you're about to find out. We're going to teach it to little mini-me. So Extreme Tough Guy learned. Awf the fighter now has that skill. When you learn an ability, you have to assign it. So we want to go to his statuses. And how do we do this? Hang on. There we go. Ability. So you can see he has, where it says common abilities, he's got a couple blank squares there, 5. That means he's got 5 slots, which are these right here. None, 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 none. These are his common slots. So we click any slot, and you can see a list of learned abilities that he has. And right now, the only one he has is Extreme Tough Guy, which has a cost of 2. That means it takes 2 slots. You can see the symbols up there change to where 2 slots are filled. Now, if you look at the bottom of the screen and you see what the ability does, it says increases HP growth rate by 20%. As long as the character has this ability equipped, then he will receive 20% more HP every time he levels up. That might not seem like a whole lot, especially at early levels where you're only getting a few HP at a time. But if we leave that on him for just a few levels, then you will eventually see more and more of an exponential growth. Like right now already, his health is slightly higher than Killia. So Killia, the main character of the game, at level 6 has 147 health, whereas the generic fighter character has 153 health. So he's already got a little bit more health at the same level than the main character of the whole game. So after a few more levels, we'll check back and you'll see that with that skill equipped, his health will have grown even farther. Now that we've got all of that business out of the way, let's jump back into the DLC episode and finish up the second DLC, which is the Prinny Coach. Would you like to replenish your strength before the fight? Yes, I would. I'll take some too. Doesn't the aroma of the spices seem stronger than before? I added a little more so that our Lord would enjoy it even more. Now I was starting to get tired of waiting, Killia. Valvatores. My lord, wouldn't it be okay to have a bite before starting? I'm fine for now. By the way, Fenric, can you go over the stipulations again? Of course. The stipulations for this test are, if you're able to defeat my lord, then we'll excuse the Prinnies. But if you lose, then you will swear loyalty to my lord and become his chef. Have I missed anything? No. I'm ready to start.
Is this okay?
Mr. Vampire, are you okay? He's very strong. Like Mr. Werewolf said, you should have a meal before you start. There is no need to worry. After I defeat him, we'll have a nice, relaxing starting party.
Follow me, everyone!
Now, this is the final test. I'll take you on with my full strength. Bring it on. Alright, so here we go. Relatively small map, just, you know, the 3 boss characters and some supporting monster units.
Let's go! Let's go!
So we're gonna send out
Leave it to me!
some of our stronger characters.
I'll show you a heroine's best. It's hard to move in this body. I'll destroy all
Don't
of
forget
them.
that our DLC characters have those special legendary weapons equipped, so they'll be making pretty short work of anything they hit. Now you can see Valvatorez up there has his sprite has changed. Well, that hurt. That is his overload skill. His overload skill changes him back into his tyrant form temporarily, which gives him a slight boost to his stats. But the most dangerous thing about his overload skill, right there you can see his overload skill is called Tepid's Nightmare. Become Tyrant Valvatorez for 3 turns and control all defeated enemies. That is the effect that we have to watch out for. Any unit that Valvatorez kills while in his tyrant form will instantly be revived and be considered an enemy unit. So if Valvatorez comes down here and takes out any of our characters, then they'll basically instantly turn into enemy units. So we do not, under any circumstances, want that to happen. So we're going to toss a couple of our DLC characters up here with their specially beefed up weapons, and we are going to hope that they can take Killia out in one turn, because if he turns around and gets an attack in on them,
All men are my
then
servants.
they'll become enemies and will probably wreck the rest of my group fairly quickly. So there we go. With the 3 of these characters attacking him, they should take him out. And oh well, there you go. Edna knocked him out in one hit. Well, that's why we like Edna. So there we go. That was simple enough.
I'm number 1.
Crap. It's not over yet. Stop, Fenric. But my lord, at this rate, we're going to lose. We have already lost. This was our chance. Mr. Vampire, please drink my blood. What are you talking about all of a sudden? Mr. Werewolf is trying really hard so that you can regain your powers. I don't know what kind of promise you and Mr. Werewolf made together, but you need power to accomplish it, right? So please, drink my blood for Mr. Werewolf. I cannot break a promise. Artina, I have not seen your face tremble with fear, so I cannot drink your blood. Fenric, I will fulfill our promise. I will not turn my back on the promise you made to the moon. The promise I made with you guys are very important to me. I will fulfill them. That's why I can't change the promise now. Killia, you've won. I shall excuse them from being re-educated.
Let me thank you.
I'm fine with that, but is that really okay? It's not a problem. Tell the Prinnies that.
Yeah!
We're saved, dude. Now we can eat our curry in peace.
Can I
have a raise, dude?
Let's dig in, dude.
Hi, dude!
It tastes different than usual, dude. It smells very fishy. You said you added a little more to it. Did you perhaps add human blood again, Fenric?
Don't be late!
It was a subtle gift from my lord, who has lost his magical power. Do you not approve? So that's what the aroma of the spices were so strong. You were hiding the smell of blood. Instead of putting the human blood in the sardines, you hid it in the curry. Pretty clever.
All is for my lord.
I understand. I was the one who told you to do as you pleased. You are a splendid steward. That was a very clever strategy. Why are you going out of your way to do that? If you're a vampire, why don't you just suck people's blood? Mr. Vampire doesn't drink blood. Don't you think that's weird? Don't call our lord weird. But then how do you replenish your magical powers? Sardines. The enormous amount of nutrients packed in sardines builds up my strength. My body is powered by sardines. So that's why the werewolf mixed human blood to the sardine curry. Hey, Valvatores. How dare you address my lord like that? It's fine. What is it, Kilia? It must be hard for a vampire to not suck blood. If you'd like, I can prepare sardine dishes for you every so often. Wow, that's an excellent offer. But are you sure? Just think of it as my way of showing you gratitude for dismissing the Prinnies from their re-education. Plus, if my cooking can help you, I don't have a problem with it. Then it's settled. Kilia has been appointed the Prinny Instructor Pocket Netherworld employee. Kilia becomes allies with Valvatores. Kilia becomes allies with Fenric. Kilia became allies with Artina. The Prinny Instructor's Pocket Netherworld employee. Yes, I told you those fights were tests. We can't have low-quality Prinnies running around. But if there's someone who can coach these Prinnies, then that's a different story. Those tests will determine whether or not you are fit to become a Prinny Instructor.
This should be good.
I'll come by periodically to check on their progress. While I'm there, I'll come enjoy your cooking. I can't keep up with you. What's so funny? It's nothing. You're a unique demon. I don't want to hear that from a unique vampire. So, there we go. Last of that episode, and you can see we now have Valvatores, Fenric, and Artina in our party. The story behind these three, the whole thing about the human blood, the promises, and the sardines, is that many, many years ago, Valvatores made a promise to a human girl, which was Artina, before she became an angel, that he would no longer drink human blood. And then the human girl died and was reborn as Artina as an angel. Somewhere along the way, Valvatores met Fenric, who he simps for Valvatores for whatever reason. Valvatores has lost the majority of his power since making that promise, which is why he's no longer considered the tyrant overlord. And Fenric is basically trying to constantly trick him into consuming human blood to restore his power, while Valvatores claims that he maintains his magical power through the consumption of sardines due to their excellent nutritional value. So that pretty much sums up their story. A weird fish-eating vampire, a werewolf that's trying to trick him into drinking blood, and an angel that is the reincarnation of the girl he promised not to drink blood for. So there you go. Now that we've got them, let's check their statuses. Here we have Kilia. He's got an A in swords, spears, and he mains a sword. We're going to leave him with a sword. His primary ability, his personal ability, is Absorption, which absorbs 20% of a defeated unit's stats. So where Laharl has, what did Laharl have? What was it called? Girl Laharl. Laharl has Overlord's Dignity, where he gets a 10% stat increase per defeated unit. Valvatorez is a similar, where he absorbs 20% of the defeated unit stats. So if Valvatorez defeats a unit that has 100 points in attack, his attack will go up 20% of that, which would be 20 points. You know, the stronger an enemy he defeats, the more his own stats will increase. So again, he's a very good long haul fighter. The more enemies there are on a map, the more enemies he can defeat, the stronger he will become. So skills that hit multiple targets at once, or having him take a few hits and counterattack multiple enemies, could potentially see his stats substantially increase per turn. A very good frontline fighter, very good physical fighter. He's definitely one of my more favorite units out of the DLC characters, so we'll be keeping him around for a while. Unit info: a promising printing instructor from Hades, loves sardines, rumored to actually have immense power that belies his position. His overload skill is Tepid's Nightmare, where he becomes Tyrant Valvatorez for 3 turns and control all defeated enemies. So, same as what he used in the level, he will revert to his Tyrant form for 3 turns, which gives him a stat increase, and any enemies that he kills while in that form will be revived temporarily as NPC ally units. So they'll be non-controllable, but they will fight on our side. Okay, so and his aptitudes are 110 in HP, SP, Defense, Resistance, 120 in Hit, 130% in Attack. So again, very, very physically focused, and 90% in Speed. Next up we have Fenric, whose class is Steward. He has an S rank in Fists and an A rank in Axes, so he's another punchy character. He comes equipped with the legendary fist weapon Wolf Fang. Of course he does. And his aptitudes are 130% in health, 90% in SP, 120% in attack, 100 in defense, 90 in intelligence and resistance, 100 in hit, and 130 in speed. Fist weapons are a dual stat weapon. They take your strength attribute and your speed attribute, add it together, divide it in half, and that's where it gets its damage calculation from. So for a fist user, he has 120% in hit and attack and 130% in speed. So he's got a slight boost to attack and speed, which will benefit him using the fist weapon. So his unique ability is Tyrant's Slave. Within 5 panels of Valvatorez, increases stats by panel moved closer by 10. This is an interesting one. Short description, but it's a little complicated. If Fenric is within 5 panels of Valvatorez at the beginning of his turn, every panel closer he moves to Valvatorez, his stats will go up by 10% for that turn. So if he starts his turn 5 panels away from Valvatorez, and he moves 5 panels closer to Valvatorez before performing an action like attacking an enemy, then his stats will increase 10% per panel, meaning a total of 50% until the end of his turn. So you basically only get something out of it every other turn, unless you move Valvatorez away from him in between turns, so that there's more panels for him to move again the next turn. It's a strange ability. Like I said, everything about Fenric is just about how he simps for Valvatorez. So his unique ability is basically useless without Valvatorez on the map. Here we go, unit info. A werewolf who works for Valvatorias. His catchphrase is "All is for my lord." Uses wind element specials. You can see he does not have an overload ability. Fenric is not considered an overlord. He's just a very strong, not even a demon. He's a werewolf. So next, the last of the new characters is Artina, the Angel of Avarice. Let's see, her aptitudes, well, she comes equipped with the unique legendary weapon Lovely Cupid, which is a bow weapon. She has a 90% in HP, 120 to SP, 100 to attack, 90 to defense, 120 to intelligence, 130 to resistance, 120 to hit, and 115 to speed. She has an A rank in bows, guns, and staffs, and comes equipped with a bow. Artina is basically built off of the Angel class archetype, meaning that she does naturally learn healing spells and defensive boosts. So you see she has Shield and Magic Wall, which raise defense and resistance accordingly. So you can either leave her with her bow weapon, or you could swap her over to a gun or a staff and have her fight that way. Now, bow weapons are another dual stat weapon. They use attack and hit. So she only has 100% attack aptitude, but 120% hit aptitude. But she also has 115% speed aptitude. Now, gun weapons use hit and speed to calculate their damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to take her bow and we're going to swap her over to a gun weapon before we use her, because she has slightly better aptitudes that will benefit her using a gun type weapon. So her equipped ability is Angel Glitter. It increases the stats of adjacent male units by 20%. So any unit that is of the male gender, or that identifies as the male gender, because there is an ability that is literally called like Gender Bender, where it swaps the unit's default gender. So that's a thing. But anyways, any male unit that is standing adjacent to her will get a flat bonus of 20% to all stats. So, like your tanky physical male characters, like Killia, Valvatorias, little mini Awf, any other, male unit that is standing adjacent to her in one of the 4 panels directly in front, behind, or to the side of her, will get a 20% stat bonus. So, kind of good, but also, a little limited. It only applies to half the characters, since it only applies to one specific gender. The characters have to be standing directly adjacent to her in order to get the boost. So, it's a 20% stat boost, but it's a 20% stat boost with some fairly limiting stipulations. You can see again she has Heal, Shield, Magic Wall, and the first level bow skill, Rapid Arrow. Unit info says, an angel tasked with collecting money that should go to Celestia. She is known as by the demons as the Angel of Avarice. So, there you go. That's Valvatorias, Fenric, and Artina, the 3 characters from the first Disgaea 4 DLC. Now, the next one we're going to start covers the second part of the Disgaea 4 DLC. So we'll be getting a few more characters from that game. Some of the older games are broken up into multiple DLCs, like Field Trip and Lover's Quarrel are both from Disgaea 3. So again, we'll be getting characters from the same games. It's just broken up into 2 DLCs. The Combat Tournament Netherworld episode is Disgaea 2. Time traveling is Makai Kingdom, I believe. And Crazy Overlord will give us the character from La Pucelle Tactics. So yeah, the next one we're going to do is going to be Girl Theater. but we're not going to get started on that one today. We're going to go ahead and wrap this video up, and we'll get started on the next episode in the next video. Definitely appreciate you guys' views. Stick around. I'm going to keep trying to get these videos out. We're slowly going to work our way through those DLC episodes. I promise we'll get done with them one day, and it'll all be worth it in the end. So, you know, thanks for the watches, and see you guys next time.